you so much, Pastor Edmund. It was my honor to request a flag be flown over the nation's capital. I couldn't think of a more fitting tribute to the 150th anniversary than to have a flag flown over the national capital to be used to commemorate a church founded by escaped slaves. I think that is poetic justice in every sense of the word. Congratulations on that. And then I just wanted to start my remarks by saying that I just rode the wheelchair lift up. This is the first church that I've been to have a functioning wheelchair lift. I've been to quite a few. And it may seem a small thing. It may seem a small thing. But when you are the one being lifted up, it is no small matter. And on the day that I was shot down in Iraq, I was the highest ranking person on my crew. And at the end of that day, I was the weakest person on my crew. And I then also needed to be lifted up. And my buddies would not leave me behind, and they picked me up, and they carried me to safety. And all of us at some point in our lives have had to rely on others, have had to be lifted up, whether it is ourselves or somebody that we love. And I think that is something we all need to remember. In my own life, I remember being hungry as a teenager because my dad had lost his job for 5 years and was unemployed in his 50s. And were it not for my high school English teacher who would reach into his public school teacher's wallet and feed us at the end of the month when the food stamps ran out, a lot of us would have gone home to empty stomachs and no dinner. And he lifted me up. And if those programs had not been there to provide me with money for college, like Pell Grants, and if strangers had not helped write that check that kept my family from going homeless, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here as your representative for this great congressional district and for the great city of Elgin. And so, in our everyday lives, we just have to be grateful. We have to be forever conscious of the fact that you may be powerful and strong one day. And let me tell you, you have some high-rank level brass sitting over here, right here. You have a brigadier general, you got a first sergeant, a top soldier, you got a sergeant major, you got, you got all sorts of rank here. But every one of us know that the most important job that you can do is to take care of the lowest ranking person, of the weakest among you. And I will just close by saying, thank you for letting me be here. I am so proud to be here, and we just had a sit-in in Washington at the end of last month, and I got to be there with the great John Lewis, my colleague that I get to serve next to in the House. We sat in on the floor of that same dome that this flag flew over and demanded justice for gun violence victims and their families. And he said one thing that I'll never forget, and he said, "We may have all come here on different ships, but we in the same boat now." We're in the same boat now. We're looking out for one another. Thank you, and I'll just close with a word of scripture. Job 5:16, so that the poor may have hope, and injustice shuts its mouth. Thank you.